Well, this is a pretty unexpected move. In the last couple of weeks, we've been seeing a lot of Don Cheadle in the MCU. He was really prominent in that Secret Invasion trailer, and this has brought up a lot of discussion around Armor Wars. Now, earlier today, we got some news about Armor Wars, and it's a bit unexpected, because guess what? Armor Wars is not coming to Disney Plus anymore. It's coming to theaters. Let's talk about what's going on with Armor Wars and why I think it was actually upgraded to a feature film. Well, there have been some pretty big changes on Marvel Studios' plans for the upcoming Armor Wars project. This was originally developed for Disney Plus as a series, but now the whole thing is being retooled as a full-on feature film. Now, this is still a developing story, but we do have a couple of details via The Hollywood Reporter. According to the team over there, the reason for this shakeup came down to the studio being really committed to telling this story the right way. And apparently, and I quote, that process revealed that a feature was better suited for the project. Meaning whatever story they were trying to tell seemed to work better in a standard movie format versus the way some series have been unfolding. I suspect as they were developing it, it probably simply had too much filler, and that particular story really doesn't need to be really long. Now there is a couple of other possibilities, one involving Don Cheadle, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Now there is a downside to this. Originally, Armor Wars was supposed to go in production in 2023 and be released on Disney Plus in 2024. This means the project is very likely to be pushed a little bit farther down that road, and we could be waiting a while longer before we see Rhodey suit up for the story. Now, there have been some rumors recently that Don Cheadle was leaving the role, and that, according to THR, is not true, and he is indeed set to play James Rhodey Rhodes, aka War Machine, in the upcoming feature. It's also being reported that Yasser Lester, who was working on the script, will continue to work on the project, and he will actually write the feature film. How all these moving pieces to Armor Wars come together now, I really don't know. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the story, that's perfectly okay. It actually involved Iron Man back in the 1980s and ran from Iron Man issue number 225 to issue 237. Now, in a comic book series, Iron Man actually realized after beating a criminal called the Force, when he was examining Force's armor, he realized almost all the technology in the suit was Iron Man technology. It was later revealed that the character known as Spy Master had stolen Iron Man's secret and had sold them to Justin Hammer, who in turn sold them to other criminals and heroes alike. Now in the story, Tony invents something called Negator Packs, and they actually destroy his technology on contact, and I totally expect them to show up in the film. Now obviously the comic focused much more on Tony than on James Rhodes, but I do think we are going to get this kind of story, and we probably could look to those confiscations during Spider-Man No Way Home and what happened to Happy Hogan as a basis for the story. Now obviously becoming a feature film is a pretty big deal, and it'll totally change how the story flows and what Marvel might be intending for the future of this character. Quite honestly, with Don Cheadle's contract coming due, them having to renegotiate, I find this a very weird coincidence, and I do think Cheadle probably preferred a feature film over a series, and that may have been one of the deciding factors they're just not sharing with us. Obviously that's just an opinion and I have no proof of that, but there has to be a pretty good reason, and to be fair, and kind of pick on Marvel a little bit, they really haven't had problems with filler episodes for other series, so I don't really know why they think Armor Wars would be better paced in a film. Now obviously we're going to be covering everything Marvel Studios and Armor Wars, so if you want to get all of your nanotechnology updates, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring that bell to get all the news. But until we know more, what do you guys think? How do you feel about Armor Wars being upgraded to a feature film? And do you think this has more to do with the flow of the story, or getting some contracts signed that needed to be done? Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.